In this video, I'm going to simplify for you what complexion products are. It can be so overwhelming trying to decide what type of complexion product to get when there's so many different names and when every brand has its own way of describing products. I'm going to demystify this whole category of makeup for you and make it a little less overwhelming and easier for you to find products that work for your skin and lifestyle. So I think of complexion products as a range of coverage. There's a spectrum from sheer to full coverage. Every complexion product that you're going to come across, whether it calls itself a tinted moisturizer, skin tint, foundation, BB cream, CC cream, they're all going to fall somewhere on this spectrum from sheer transparent coverage to full coverage. Usually products have descriptive language in the advertising that let you know where they're going to fall on this spectrum. Tinted moisturizers, skin tints, BB creams, CC creams, generally speaking, they're going to fall on the sheerer end of the spectrum, but there are some brands that have products labeled with those names that actually are full coverage. For example, It Cosmetics CC cream. I love this stuff. It is stunning and works on so many different skin types and tones and textures. This has the capacity to literally transform you. Like it looks like spackle. But if you apply a tiny, tiny bit of it, it's really sheer and beautiful. This is just an example of just because something is marketed as a CC cream doesn't mean that it is sheer coverage, even though generally speaking, I would say that BB creams and CC creams tend to fall around the tinted moisturizer and skin tint realm. So whether or not you are looking at a cream product, a powder product, or a liquid product, what you want to look for is where the definition of the product says that it falls on this spectrum from sheer to full coverage. And you also want to pay attention to what it says the finish is. The finish of face makeup is generally glowy, satin, or matte. Glowy is very luminous, very radiant, very reflective. Satin is kind of a step up from that. It's, perhaps the best of both worlds between matte and glowy. It just is naturally reflective, but not super luminous. And then matte, it's going to be the least reflective and look the most like a powder. It's obviously, if you're using a powder foundation, those generally look like powder. There are mineralized powders which tend to be a little bit more reflective. But again, all complexion products fall somewhere on this spectrum from really sheer to really full coverage. And what you need to know is how the product is marketed, where on this spectrum does it fall, what kind of coverage are you looking for? And then what kind of finish do you want based off of your skin type, your personality, and your lifestyle? I know for me, all I ever want is glowy skin. I am not a matte complexion girl. My skin is really dry. I'm always using a tinted moisturizer or a CC cream on top of a moisturizer, and I use very small amounts of powder. For somebody else who has really oily skin and that's something they're always trying to combat, then you're probably going to want something that's either oil-free or that advertises itself as semi-matte or matte. Or you might want to use a powder foundation. For somebody who has lots of fine lines and crevices or has lots of texture on their skin, you're probably going to want something that minimizes that. So you probably don't want something that's really heavy and full coverage, because the thicker the product is, the more of that product there is going to be to gather in fine lines or grab a hold of texture. And you might not want something that's super glowy or luminous, because luminosity attracts the eye to wherever it is on the skin. So if you have a big dry patch and you put something really luminous and shimmery, it's going to attract the light. So maybe you want more of a semi-matte finish. But that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful and kind of demystifies the world of complexion products for you. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please feel free to put them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked, and I hope to see you next time.